the Greek agora. And so the Greek agora was this meeting place or marketplace in ancient Greece where, you know, after dinner people would get together to debate and have dialogue about and discourse about whatever the political issues of the day were in the community, whatever the news was in the community. You know, Eumenides' goat died, my aunt broke her ankle, whatever. And that's how information was exchanged and how news passed around the community and how political discourse happened. And so the interesting things about the agora, the interesting characteristics of it are, it was multi-directional. It wasn't someone standing on a stage like I am with you and just dictating. It was unfiltered. It was not interpreted. The news wasn't interpreted and then written down and handed to people. It was unfiltered. It was real time. You were hearing what people were talking about right there with each other. The conversation was happening right now. It wasn't recorded or showed later to people. The history of technology traditionally has been disruptive or disintermediating to existing media companies. But along comes Twitter, and Twitter reinvents the agora. We once again start to see multiple perspectives on a particular news story or event that's happening. We once again start to have a shared experience across the globe about what's happening and what we're viewing right now. We once again get an unfiltered perspective on what's happening. Cut to the first presidential debate, and during the first presidential debate, we were well over 8,000 tweets per second for extended periods of time, like hours. 8,000 tweets per second for over an hour. Cut to the night of the election, well over 12,000, 15,000 tweets per second for extended periods of time. So it's increasingly the case that people realize that this is where the shared experience happens while the broadcasters are talking about or showing us something else that's happening. We talk about Twitter as the pulse of the planet. When someone asks us how we think about Twitter, we like to say Twitter is the pulse of the planet. And what you just saw there is a great example of why we think that. Those are tweets about a show during the season of the show. And what you can see is when the show is on, you get a big uptick in what people are saying about the show, and when it's not on, there's background noise. The same thing you would see is true about major events. The same thing you would see is true about politics, on and on and on and on. I just happen to be showing TV examples here. So this is a visualization our engineers did inside Twitter of the minutes after the earthquake and ensuing tsunami in Fukushima, Japan. And what you saw there was instant, and keep in mind it's like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., right, in lots of parts of the world. Minutes, if not sooner, in the aftermath of the earthquake and tsunami, the entire world knew about it and was communicating back to people in Japan. It gives a voice to everyone in the world, and it's a completely level playing field, and we all have equal access, and all of us can reach any of the other endpoints. But the real beauty of it is that as you get closer and closer and closer, you see the three-dimensionality and the uniqueness and the beauty to each one of those things. So that's why we say our vision for Twitter. Everyone in the company would tell you, what's your vision for Twitter? Everyone in the company would tell you this. Our vision for Twitter is Twitter brings you closer. Because when you're closer to all of these other voices, you see that they're individuals with a unique perspective.